Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Awhobiwom. Thank you so much for stopping by. If it's your first time here, thank you for coming, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you again for coming. So on today's video, I'm just basically going to do like a cultural shock video. So things that I found weird, shocking, or strange, or things that are new to me or were new to me when I came to Poland. So basically that's what this video is going to be about. So let's go into the gist for today. The first thing that I found interesting slash weird, I found it weird. The first thing I found weird was the fact that you have like the voiceover.
Merry Christmas.
Wesołych świąt, sprośna świnio.
And a Happy New
I
Year.
szczęśliwego nowego roku.
Voice over here, like if you're watching an English movie in Poland on the TV, so if you're watching like an English movie, you can still hear the English, like you can hear the English, but it's really low. But then you have like a Polish voiceover, which is usually like a male, and this male voice is speaking, like it's translating everything to Polish, but this one voice is doing the entire script. So all the characters, all the entire movie is voiced over by one person. Like I find it really weird. Like, why don't you use like different people? But well, I found it really weird. So the next one that I found really interesting, this one was, I actually do like it. I like how fast the advertisements are. Like they are really very fast, like the peel. Like I literally do not hear anything except the peel. So yeah, like it's really interesting. Like I really like those adverts. Like when I'm in Biedronka, I like to hear like the adverts on the radio. I don't know why, I just enjoy listening to ads on, even when I'm watching YouTube. Like I rarely skip the Polish adverts because I really want to hear those adverts in Polish. So yeah, it's really nice. So another thing that I will talk about would be the stare. Like I'm not going to really talk about it so much because before I came here I was already aware that people would stare at you. Like I had gone through like a lot of black YouTubers that were living or had visited Poland, and they talked about the stare. So I was not like, it had already like been registered in my mind that people would stare. So probably because of that thing, I didn't necessarily take note of people staring at me, or I just didn't care. I don't know which one of the two, but yeah. The only one was, okay, I think I've had like elderly ladies. It's always the elderly, sweet elderly ladies. They would be like, piękna. They want to touch your hair and stuff like that. And then you have the younger, the little children. Those ones, they have no filter in their mouth. So they would just open their mouth and say whatever they want to say. And they, there was this one time at a store, the little boy said something nasty. I'm not going to say it here, but the mom was like really shocked at what the boy said to me, and the mom came to me and was like, proszę, like she was apologizing, and I was like, no, it's fine, it's okay. So yeah, so away with that. Another thing I found that was shocking was when you go to stores, guys, you need to buy a bag and you need to pack your stuff yourself, except it's like a clothing store or something. But if it's like a grocery store, after you're done shopping, respectfully pack your bags so that they can attend to the next customer. Like I didn't know. The first time I went, I think it was at Tesco in Belani or something. I went to buy stuff and I bought everything, and it just kept, I didn't know I was supposed to even buy bags. And then when I was done, I was just looking at her moving all my things to the other side, and I'm like, what is happening? So I had to buy a bag and I had to pack my stuff myself. So yeah, that is something that you need to get used to here. Another thing again to remember, or another thing that shocked me, guys, when I came, the same thing. I went to eat somewhere. So far as it's not a restaurant, it's just like an eatery, a place you can just eat. You need to pack up. Once you're done eating, you need to clear your table, and you need to take the tray back and do like a return. Like there's usually a dishes return, or if it's like a disposable, you can throw the plates away. So I didn't know. I finished eating. I went with a friend. So I finished eating and I got up and I was about to leave, and my friend goes, you need to take your plates. I'm like, oh, I did not know. So yes, you need to do that as well. Another one that is always shocking till now, like it's always like, my goodness, is the fact that the pedestrian crossing, so like the zebra crossing, so far as a car, like no matter how fast this car is coming, when the car sees the pedestrian crossing and it sees you, it would slow down, wait for you to go like all over, like go all across to the other side of the road before it proceeds. Like back in my country, they don't do that. They don't do that. So because of that, like every time I'm trying to cross a road, I'm either running and then I'm like, hey, you're in Poland, calm down. Or sometimes I would stand and then I'll like try to like signal the person in the car to go on, and the person in the car is like, no, you go on. And it's always like, I'm not able to wrap my head around it. Like I'm trying so hard not to get used to it, so when I get back home I don't fall a victim of because if I get back home with this mentality of, oh, the driver needs to wait for me to cross, I'm going to get hit by a car if I get back to Nigeria. So yeah, that's one thing that I'm still, every time it happens, I'm like, I'm in Poland. Okay, so another thing again that I found interesting is the fact that Poland, they are basically, it's a religious country. They are Catholics, predominantly Catholics, and on Sundays nothing happens. Like on Sundays the shops are closed, everywhere is dead in the daytime. Like on Sunday, maybe only in the evenings that you'd actually start to see people. Like on Sundays everywhere is really dry, the streets are dry, the malls are closed, so Sundays are completely like a holiday. And then we have some Catholic holidays that actually become holidays where you don't have to go to work. So for example, on the Feast of All Souls, Feast of All Souls, so that's like November 2nd, it's a public holiday, so you don't have to go to work. The Catholic calendar plays a role here. Another thing that I found surprising is the Polish language. It's difficult. Learning Polish language keeps changing. It changes depending on how you're saying your sentences or where you're placing. It's always very confusing for me. So you would say something and you think you got it correctly, but the verb you used was not the right verb. So Polish language is very dynamic. It changes and it's a bit difficult for foreigners to learn. But of course you can learn it if you put your mind to it. So bringing us to the language, the next thing that comes to my mind is the fact that the names of husbands and wives, the surnames are not the same. So I have this family friend here in Poland, the Dabrowskis. The husband is Dabrowski, Mr. Dabrowski, Pan Dabrowski, and the wife is Pani Dabrowska. So that means the women have the Ska surnames and the men have the Ski surnames. So, for example, the popular footballer Lewandowski, I don't know, probably his wife's name is Lewandowska. I need to Google it. But yeah, we have this. Another thing I found a bit strange, it wasn't strange, it was just shocking to experience because Nollywood has already like put it out there that public display of affection happens in other parts of the world. So when I came here, I got to see public like affection being displayed publicly. Like you see people like they're always holding hands or they're always kissing or they're making out in public. I found it strange at first. Like I'm like, really guys, can't you guys go inside? But now I've seen it like a million times and yeah, I just look away when I see people displaying their affections in public. So yeah, this is something that didn't really sit normal with me, or doesn't sit normal with me because it's not something I'm used to. The next one is when you leave a room. I find this extremely weird, but I do it now. So when you're leaving a room, say, this was mostly in my classes. So when we're leaving, like anybody's leaving the class, you just say do widzenia. That like do widzenia is like saying goodbye. So you say do widzenia and you leave a room. I don't know what the rule is because when you come to like in the dorms, when you're in the kitchen, if you're coming into the kitchen and there are other people in the kitchen, you say cześć. Like young people, of course, you can informally greet a young person, cześć. But when you're leaving the kitchen, you're not saying do widzenia. But when you're leaving the stores, you're saying do widzenia. And then at night, you cannot say do widzenia, you have to say dobranoc. I do it now. I say a lot of chest and a lot of do widzenia. That has become my life. Chest and do widzenia has become the normal for me now. I also found out that, yeah, another thing is in almost every city there is a Rinek and there is a Stare Mastio. So Stare Mastio. So the Rinek is like the marketplace and the Stare Mastio is like the old town. So you have old town in almost every city, so which is really nice because you know that if you go to any city in Poland, you make sure you try to go to Rinek or to Old Town. These are places that it's always like in the city center, so you have to go there. So guys, basically I've enjoyed my stay here in Poland and Poland has been good to me. I'm not even going to lie, but yeah. So basically, these are the things that I found weird or I still find weird or a bit shocking to me while I have been here in Poland. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Do not forget to subscribe. Do not forget to give this video a thumbs up to like the video. And guys, I would see you in the next video. Do widzenia!